What do you see students doing with their social policy studies, their course, their degree?
Interestingly, let's take the empirical approach towards that first of all. If you look at what happens to social policy graduates when they leave, they enter quite a wide range of different professions and activities. And in part, of course, because social policy embraces, as I mentioned before, a number of different institutional dimensions: central government, local government, public sector, private sector, and it also embraces a number of different areas: health, education, and so on. So there's quite a range. You can do social policy in a number of different forums, and you can take it forward in a number of different career paths. Having said that, what quite a number of students do is they do elect to do more of it. In other words, a 3-year degree in social policy isn't necessarily the end of higher education and of the study of social policy. It's possible to do postgraduate degrees in it, including postgraduate research. And of course, the route into academic social policy, becoming an academic in social policy, is often through doing further study, in particular, increasingly these days, through doing a PhD. And of course, what that links into is research. And as I mentioned, the empirical dimension of social policy involves doing research on how policy is implemented and whether it works or not. And quite a lot of work, therefore, and quite a number of social policy graduates go into that kind of empirical research field. They become researchers, working in universities, but actually the majority are not working in universities, but working in local government or in central government or in the health service or in other agencies. In other words, the agencies that are delivering social policy want the empirical research which helps them to decide what policies are working and which policies are not, and social policy students can get jobs doing that. They can get jobs doing the research, but also, of course, quite a number of them get jobs, as it were, doing the business. They become health administrators, they become administrators within local government, housing officers and so on. So they can go into the delivery of social policy as well. Operating sometimes alongside, as what you might think of the kind of the professionals in those areas, in other words, the teachers and the doctors and the nurses. Alongside those are the organisers and the administrators and the managers and the researchers working alongside them. So quite a number of people go into those kind of managerial, administrative, organisational aspects of social policy development. And of course, not only in the public sector, but also in the private sector and in the voluntary and community sector. Quite a lot of our students here in Birmingham end up working for big voluntary organisations in Birmingham, both on a paid basis and also, of course, to some extent, on a voluntary basis. What many students both start out studying social policy and I think finish up studying social policy because they want to make the world a better place. That commitment to welfare is a moral and a normative commitment for these students, and therefore once they finish studying social policy they want to use the knowledge that they've got to make the world a better place. You can do that through research, you can do that through administration, but you can also do it actually through voluntary commitment, and quite a lot of our social policy students continue to make a voluntary commitment through a voluntary organisation, through working in the local community, through various kind of informal activities. And in some ways I think that's one of the great attractions of social policy. It gives you both some of the intellectual tools and skills to make the world a better place. It also gives you the moral value base to want to do that, which it's why I came into social policy, because I thought I could make the world a better place. It's what all of us, I think, tell our students they should carry with them, and for the most part I think it works, and social policy students do leave both with the skills and the commitment to carry on promoting welfare.